Watch and burn.
Hey everyone, and tonight I would like to discuss Richard Linklater's Jesus, Adam. Richard Linklater, Adam. It's not that difficult. His 2006 film starring Keanu Reeves, Woody Harrelson, Winona Ryder, Robert Downey Jr. is in this, and that is A Scanner Darkly. Now, it's funny because back when this movie came out, I know that it sort of split people right down the middle. Some people could really appreciate the cell shading graphic look, or animated look, sorry, and other people couldn't, because I remember half the people I knew loved it. I loved it, and so I was on that side. But then I knew a lot of people that found it sort of disorienting and distracting, because there's always like this shift. And then, of course, when the police officers end up in the everyman suits, they're literally shifting all the time. And I know a couple of people I knew really took issue with this because they felt that everything just kept like vibrating or whatever. And they found it too distracting, because whereas they'd be attempting to pay attention to the story, but they'd keep finding themselves staring at like how the cell shading would always constantly be in like a state of flux. So I know this movie, or at least it split the people I knew right down the middle. But I thought it was great. I love how, I don't know, the cell shading really sort of fits the Substance D vibe. Like, it's almost like these people in this movie are constantly suffering under Substance D, like literally. And this is how their perception of reality has ended up as the result of the two hemispheres of their brain splitting in half because of the abuse of the drug Substance D. And at the same time, I get where people were coming from when they said that they found it annoying and distracting, because if you're not able to pay attention to the story, you know, what are you doing there, right? I mean, why are you watching this movie, or any movie for that matter, if you're having difficulty finding the story watchable because of some other element that the movie is attempting to toss into play? But like I said, I thought it was great. I thought it fit the mood of the movie. I thought it fit the tone. I thought the idea was just so strong that having the animated aspect tossed in as well, it made me feel like I was experiencing some low-level form of psychosis. And again, you could go back to that being the effects of the D. So I could really appreciate that, I guess, or I was really able to wrap my head around it, because it felt like I was on drugs while I was watching this movie. The other thing I really liked was how, despite how Substance D is designed to destroy you, and it is slowly and surely destroying every character that's on it in this movie, especially Bob, played by Keanu Reeves, this movie's done really lightly. This movie has a real lighthearted sense about it. It's playful, it's bouncy, it's not too serious. Despite the incredibly serious subject matter, it's tackled with such a unique sense of humor that you kind of forget that you're watching a bunch of drug addicts destroy themselves for the most part, especially when Woody Harrelson and Robert Downey Jr. are bickering and attempting to fight each other over numerous pointless things. It just feels really fun. It feels fresh. Like most drug movies, they start out heavy, they get heavier, and they end the heaviest with some kind of sort of chaotic end where everybody ODs and the kid dies and oh fuck, you know, like there's always some weight to drug movies. And then the weight to this movie kicks in all of a sudden in the last chunk of the film, after Archer's brain starts to fail because of the hemisphere splitting, because of the Substance D addiction. He gets shipped off to New Path, which is apparently the place where they send addicts in order to recover them. But the truth is, New Path the whole time are just creating, they're cultivating the flower that D is made from. So on one hand, they're trying to fix the problem by providing the cure, and on the other hand, they're causing the problem by providing the drug. And then it's revealed that Winona Ryder's character sort of set up Bob Archer, Keanu Reeves' character, to take the fall and to become addicted to Substance D, because the whole time she had her suspicions that New Path were responsible for the Substance D epidemic. And so they just kind of tossed Keanu Reeves' character into a blender and purposely wrecked his life and wrecked his brain in order to get him out to New Path, so that they could prove that New Path were responsible for the substance D epidemic. And it just comes out of nowhere, and then that's it. His brain's gone. He's out there. He's completely fried, and the movie isn't fun anymore. And there's this incredible weight that kicks in. And then, of course, the way it ends with the text from Philip K. Dick naming all the people that he knew that suffered entirely too much just for experimenting with a number of drugs. And then he goes down the list of people he knows who have either died or people who have suffered massive brain damage or pancreatic problems, liver problems, and things like that would inevitably cost them considerably. And it's like the fun of this movie just absolutely vanished. It vanished like that, and it was like, it wasn't Woody Harrelson and Robert Downey Jr. bickering anymore. It was Keanu Reeves' character's life completely bottoming out, his brain turning to mush, and him maybe helping prove the New Path was responsible for the substance D problem by taking one of the flowers and putting it in his boot at the end, so when he sees his friends, he'll give it to them. So maybe there's a happy end. Not for him, of course, because I don't think his brain can recover from the amount he's done. But yeah, so I think I'll leave it there. So thank you so much for hanging out with me for almost 7 minutes while I discussed Richard Linklater's 2006 film, A Scanner Darkly. If you liked this review or discussion or whatever the fuck this was, don't forget to do something nice for somebody. I really appreciate you making it till the end of the video. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night. I just wanted to say thank you for making it through the entire video. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to remind everyone one more time, even though I've probably already done this in the video that you just watched, to please click the like button as well as the subscribe button because it helps this channel grow. And thank you for hitting like and subscribe, and we will see you guys really soon.